Harrisburg Stampede. Justin Coble with
I gotta change the freaking.
Oh, there it is.
Basically, they were
It's
playing
Major
Major League with the real game. Yeah.
Oh shit! There's the Hattie.
Welcome back, and then let's get into the second half here. This was one you sent me the other day, and I said to you, like, I love this topic. This is a good one for us. This is right up our alley. While it's not Unawatch centric, it is certainly sports logo centric. Let's talk about some 10 logos that don't exist anymore.
That's what I saw it and I was like, wait a minute, because I originally I saw it with NHL teams. I'm thinking there's so many different great logos out there that those teams don't exist from across the sports. This got to be a topic.
So before we get started here, follow up to last period. I told you off in between periods that I messaged my buddy who's a big NBA fan about, does the G League implement rule changes to test them for the NBA? And he said they do. They implement rule changes in the G League as well.
Good.
So that means all three of our major sports minor league systems implement rule changes to test them out before they make the big show.
That's what you need.
Yeah. So let's not beat that horse any further dead than it is. But I just want to chime in that I did get a response that yes, the NBA does that as well.
Beat that. Yeah, well, that's good though that they do that.
There were blanks in the gun. Anyway. I don't know how many people are going to get that movie reference, but those who do, I love you.
Literally, I had that scene in my head just play out too. I literally just had that scene. Holy shit.
There were blanks in the gun.
Holy shit.
There were blanks in the gun.
Holy shit.
When he opens up to see that there were blanks and the shock of him saying there were blanks in the gun. It's such a stupid scene, but it's probably my favorite in that entire movie.
But it works.
It leaves me in tears every time.
But it works. Oh, that's such a great movie.
Oh, man. All right.
Such a great movie, though.
Oh, yeah. All right. I could talk that movie all day.
Yeah, that's the problem. We could.
So let's start off with these sports logos that no longer exist, and a lot of these, they are from our childhood. Some of them aren't. Some of them are from way before our childhood. But let's start off. This is one I love. This is a team I want to see come back. The Expos. I can't think of a more iconic logo in sports that is not around.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those logos where you see it and you just know who it is. That's why you may not even like baseball, but you know exactly who it is. It's just one of those logos that just, I don't know where did they move to? Where did the Expos go to? Washington, that's what it was. I couldn't remember where they went.
Yeah, so it's kind of sad the way things went with the Expos. Because that their final season in 2004, they played half of it in Puerto Rico. They weren't even in Montreal for most of the season. And they were league owned. By that point, MLB took over ownership of the league. It was just a sad ending to a great franchise. Not that they were ever they had glimmers of hope. Sadly, every time they had glimmers of hope, there was a lockout. Because in '81, they were one of the best teams in baseball and probably would have made the World Series had there not been a brief lockout in '81. And then they were one of the best teams in baseball in '94 when the lockout happened in '94. It
just goes bad luck.
Part of that bad luck is, the ownership didn't want to spend a lot of money. They traded away a ton of great talent. I mean, this is a franchise that had Gary Carter, one of the greatest catchers in the game. He went to the Mets in the 80s, would end up winning a World Series with the Mets. They had Randy Johnson,
Pedro
you know.
Martinez.
Yeah. They had a ton of great great players and they just they pissed them away. Whatever. Um but
Yeah.
I think of the Expos and I think of that the original hat, the white the white front with the red back and the blue bill and the
Hmm.
Expos logo right there in the middle. I think of those powder blue uniforms. Visually one of the more iconic teams of baseball from the 60s to the when they closed in the 2000s.
Yeah, it's just one. It is a shame. I mean, like you said, just yeah,
Now there's a
front
push
office.
of
You know.
it's part that it's part the revenue sharing deals after the lockout weren't really geared towards a smaller market team like the Expos, and it's why we still see smaller market teams in MLB struggle. Um, the revenue sharing is not as well spread out as we'd like to think it is. But anyway, moving on. What's the next one, David?
I think it is Seattle Supersonics
All right.
with that nice green logo. The
With the Seattle skyline.
Yep, the skyline. I couldn't speak to. Like, I can't speak this morning.
It's all right. It's 7:53. Um, that is first off those team colors. You can never really go wrong with a green and yellow combo.
No, because it just pops.
It pops, but it pops and it's classy at the same time.
And the fact that they added the skyline in is kind of nice for the city itself. Like
I'm a big fan
to
of
add
teams
that
that do that.
to connect. That's it. To connect with the city. Like
Well,
not just like
nowadays,
with
if
the
they were
city
still
connect,
exist,
but
they'd have a special jersey that would have no colors of the team on it to connect them to the city.
right.
Um, anyway,
Are you bitter?
anyway,
Are you bitter?
no, it's definitely one of those teams I'd love to see come back to the NBA, and I know there's a lot of fans in that region that want to see them come back at some point. So if the NBA ever expands, I think it'd be cool to see the Supersonics come back. But I think this is what's going to happen. I think if the Supersonics come back, they're probably going to integrate their colors into the same scheme as the Seahawks and the Sounders.
Which would make sense just to keep with the city.
Yeah, but
I think Pittsburgh is one of the only cities that all the major sports teams are the same color.
I think they are, but that's different. That's the city colors.
Yeah, no, yeah, no. I'm just
Adopting
thinking
the Seahawks colors is.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just thinking like they're the only real team that are all all the sports that are in that city one color scheme.
Well, speaking of Uniwatch, there was a really great article a couple months ago actually where someone with very good Photoshop skills did a series of articles on what if every city was like Pittsburgh. And you saw like every city's teams in their city's flag colors. And it was really cool. I'll have to find the link then and include it in the show description to check out. But it was really cool. For some it worked, for some it didn't. But it was cool that someone put the effort in to say, hey, what would they look like if they followed Pittsburgh's lead?
Yeah. And what color schemes would they take? Like let's say for Philadelphia, what color scheme would they go with? Because there's the different ones there.
Well, no, it would all be the city flag, so it'd be that powder blue and gold.
I didn't know if they were just going to pick one of the sports teams. That's what I thought you meant by that.
No.
Gotcha. Yes, please find it. I'm curious on that now. I'm curious.
Yeah, it was really cool. I'll find the article and I will share that. What do we got next?
Houston Oilers.
The Houston Oilers. That's another one. As soon as you even say the name, I see the
The logo.
logo, I see the uniform.
Mm-hmm.
I see the powder blue and red, another really good combo. I mean, look, they adopted that look at the height of powder blue in sports. So it's going to stand out amongst now.
One of those yeah, like I said, one of those logos to where you just know it. When as soon as you hear the name, that's the first thing you imaginally pop into your head.
I see it. I see the uniform, and I see Warren Moon. Those are the things I see when you say the Houston Oilers. No one talks about Warren Moon a lot, but he was
I haven't heard that name in ages.
Super underrated quarterback. Had he been on a different team, he probably would have made it. But and then again, Marino was on one of the the best teams of the '80s, and he didn't make it. So what do I know?
Right.
What do we got next?
Because the Oilers had Warren Moon, Eddie George, Steve McNair.
Yeah, Jesus, yeah.
So just
holy shit, Warren Moon is 67 years old. How is that possible?
Age. That's
wow,
how that is possible.
He played professional ball in one way or another from 78 to 2000. He was with the Edmonton Eskimos from 78 to 83 and then went to the Oilers.
Damn.
Right?
Edmonton Eskimos?
They're not called that now. They're not called the Eskimos anymore. That's who they were then.
Edmonton Elks.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's
Oilers,
insane.
Vikings, Seahawks, Chiefs.
You know what? All I think of is the Oilers with him. So,
hey, he had a good career.
I can't believe he's pushing 70 though. That like hurts a little bit. I wonder how he feels.
Jeez.
I'm sure he's got plenty of money to not care about how old he is.
I was gonna say that at that point, you're sitting there. Oh, do you want me to care how old I am? Nah, I'm gonna sit here in my mansion by my pool.
What's the next one?
San Diego Mariners. This was a hockey team of the WHA.
I was going to say this has got to be the WHA.
Yes, from 74 to 77.
Did they become another team?
No.
Okay.
They were, though, the New York Knights from 72 to 73. Then 73 to 74, they were the
Golden Blades.
Or Jersey Knights, whatever, I guess. New York Golden Knights, Jersey Knights, or Golden Blades, Jersey Knights. However they play that.
So, I mean, look, this isn't a logo that we're familiar with because it was way before we were born. It is a very detail-oriented logo, though. I mean,
it is very detailed, that's for sure.
I don't know if I like seeing all the lines on the sea captain's face here.
Well,
his face looks a little bit like a worn glove.
Oh. I mean, hey, it's detailed. You give it that.
It is.
I mean, it's not a bad logo to start with. It's not bad.
No.
I'm not saying it's great. I'm just saying it's not bad.
It looks like he should be giving a slap shot of a, fried piece of fish and fries to someone.
Hey,
like this would have made a really great
Long John Silver logo.
Yeah, it
should have been a promotion.
You know what? If they still existed, they could have had him against the Gordon's Fishermen of the Islanders.
Yes. swear that logo does look like the Quartz Fisherman.
Well, it's making a comeback.
It is. It's still funny as hell.
In the and one of the minor league teams for the Islanders are going to be wearing the Gordon's Fisherman.
Nice.
What's the next one on this list?
The Houston Colt 45s.
Okay, so this is extremely way before we were born. So the 45s really, they walked so the Astros could run, is really what it was. So they existed from 62 to 64, and then 65 they became the Astros. So here's the only thing I have to say about the Colt 45s. You know, if they didn't exist, the Phillies never would have had Harry Kalas, because Harry Kalas, even though he got his start in Hawaii for the minor league Islanders, he ended up doing radio for the Houston Colts before he came to Philadelphia to work for the Phils.
I did not know that.
I have his autobiography.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
That's the only thing I care about with the Colt 45s. I mean, it's that name just shouts Texas for the record.
Oh yeah, that's a giveaway on that.
They're a step away from being the Houston Yeehaws at this point.
Ding ding ding.
But it's a great name, but they weren't a great team. That's why they then became the Astros. Plus, the space program was in Houston, and yeah, it's fine. You couldn't have it today because they'd have gotten sued out their ass by the gun manufacturer.
Yeah. All that too, but just in general, with a gun being in the logo.
We'll get into this with the next one. I don't know about that. I think because they used a brand name, that's different.
True, that is true. And then we have San Antonio Gunslingers.
From the original USFL. And, I got to state, it's a cartoony logo, but I love the color scheme. There's something about blue, silver, and green that just hits really good for me. Those old Seahawks uniforms and that color scheme is very similar to this one, and they are just chef's kiss in my book.
Yeah, it's a little cartoony. Almost feel like what's his name? I'm drawing a blank here.
Yosemite Sam.
Yes.
They go, this guy's a lot taller than Yosemite Sam.
Yeah, but it's almost like they just need to put him in there. Yeah, they could have probably found a different logo or, a different character for it. Because he just looks out of place in that. So, in my opinion, he just looks out of place.
I'm sending you a link to their uniforms. You can check out their uniform and see what I'm talking about. I think that's a fantastic looking, clean cut uniform with a good color scheme.
Okay, seeing it on the jersey now, see on the helmet. Okay, yeah, I get it now. I guess it's just without seeing it on the actual equipment, it's just a little different.
So, and this is, a bigger story of the USFL. Not every team was well funded, and the San Antonio Gunslingers were one of those teams. If you watched the Small Potatoes, the story of the USFL 50 or 30 for 30 back in 2009, that hurts. There's a story as told by the Gunslingers quarterback that when they would get paid, the players would literally race.
Mm-hmm.
They'd get in their cars. There'd be like 4 or 5 of them per car. They'd race to the bank, and whoever got there first did get paid. And everyone else's checks bounced.
Yeah, it was never a guarantee to get paid for that. That's for sure.
We there's a lot of comments being made about the modern version that has now become the UFL. But at least it's owned right now by one group, and these players are getting paid.
Yeah, at least there's that.
There's stability in their business model.
Yeah, at least there's that for this. At least. All right, where are we at here? My screen jumped.
Well, I think we're on the San Diego Conquistadors.
Conquistadors.
Of the legendary ABA, and they played from 72 to 75. Man, you could not have this logo now.
Why? Why would you say that?
Uh,
Oh.
justify, like, I look at this and I'm like, yeah, it's really good you can't have this logo now. Like, it's different than the other one we can't have now, where that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. The Houston Colt 45s, because they're using a brand name. This is this is a logo that is a sign of the times. You know what I'm saying? It could only exist in the 70s. Like, I don't think it really exists well in the 80s.
No. No. There'd be so many things with that logo. Good Lord.
Now, I'll give it this. I like how it incorporated the basketball, not just as a basketball, but as part of the Conquistadors
Head.
Outfit. Yeah, his head covering.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good looking logo for that era. Like you said, not today.
No, not today. No, very well drawn. I mean, it's not like it doesn't look good. It's just it's a little offensive. Just a little offensive. Um let's go to the next one.
The Oklahoma Outlaws.
I like this logo.
For how simple it is, it's nice.
And it reminds me of, and I can't think of the team name off the head. They were in the Arena Football League. They were the Dallas team. They weren't the Renegades, were they?
That's USFL.
No, what was the Dallas Arena Football team? The
Oh,
Dallas Desperados.
there you go. I was going to say, you're making me think this morning. I don't like it.
It reminds me a lot of the Dallas Desperados logo, which though it's a very visually appealing logo. It's simple. It's right to the point. It tells you what the team's about. Great logo. You can't go wrong with a Masked Marauder for your Western team.
Now they're the Arizona Outlaws. Because when I looked it up, it directed me to the Arizona Outlaws.
Oh.
So your USFL from 94 to 85, Western Conference 84 to 85, Central Division 84.
Oh, that's right. That final season, they were the Arizona Outlaws. Yeah. So they had a season as the Arizona Wranglers, then they became the Oklahoma Outlaws, and then they became the Arizona Outlaws. And for the record, that Arizona Wranglers logo is fantastic too, with the gradient lettering. I'm a big fan of that. All right, what's next?
I can find my screen here. The Boston Breakers. Breakers.
See, out of all of these, I feel like this is underwhelming.
If somebody can talk this morning, that'd be great.
What do you mean?
Because I can't talk for shit.
Oh, I didn't know if I was talking over you and not realizing it.
No. I just can't speak this correctly this morning. I mean, I'm the. I mean, for Boston, I don't know. I just almost would think it'd be. I don't know. More of a logo.
Okay, well, what if you placed them in New Orleans in 1984?
Possibly. But looking up the team on Wikipedia, it's a different logo on there now. That one just looks like it should be not Boston, but like North Carolina. Just looks like just an ocean wave, basically.
Yeah.
It's really what it looks like on I guess the newer logo of it. It just seems like it fit down in North Carolina.
It does kind of give off that like Carolina vibe, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Huh, that's really interesting that sportslogos.net doesn't have a modern UFL subchapter. They just have the old one, and it's not in with the UFL.
Well, that's weird though, because when I look up that team, it directs me to soccer.
Okay, so when they came back, they were the New Orleans Breakers in 2023 and 2022.
Probably why it's not coming up for me. I'm not looking up the right stuff, just what is on the page.
All right, yeah, this is okay. I mean, they have different shades of blue and gray. It's very underwhelming to me. It doesn't pop. It doesn't stand out.
It looks like it should be in the southern tier states. Like,
yeah, whoever wrote this logo and ranked it number 2, I don't know why they ranked it number 2. We had 8 others that were fantastic, and this one's like a fart in church. Or someone saying shit in church when they're mic'd up.
You've done that?
I have not, but we know someone who has.
That's funny.
I bet their mom almost had a fucking heart attack when that happened.
Hey, we almost died laughing.
All right, let's wrap this up.
The Hartford Whalers.
Well, a winner. Every time a winner.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Great
I still
logo.
Wish they'd bring them back.
And here's why it's such a great logo. Not just the color scheme. It's got the whale's tail. It's got the H for Hartford. It's got the W for Whalers. Everything's right in that one logo. You don't need anything else. It's to the point. It's classic. It looks good on a uniform. Great color scheme.
I do like how the Hurricanes do pay tribute to the Whalers with when they wear those jerseys.
Yeah,
because the Whalers went to Carolina.
Yeah, I know.
So it is nice that they have those throwbacks.
It is. It'd be a lot nicer if we got the Whalers back, though.
Yeah. I don't see it happening, but yeah.
They're just one of those iconic teams that their logo was so good. I think even people who didn't watch hockey, they know the Hartford Whalers logo because it's such a great logo. And it's simple. It's not overdone. It's just right to the point.
Yeah. And what's funny was they used to be called the New England Whalers from 72 to 79 for the WHA.
And that logo could go up against the Gordon's Fishermen too.
Yeah. Almost have like a tournament. Who has better fish?
The Marina Hockey League. Don't encourage me.
Oh, that's great.
Oh man.
That is great. And that's the list.
I don't think we learned anything new here.
No, we didn't. But just the fact though, some of the teams talking about you're like, yeah, I just wish they were back. I wish those jerseys came back. I wish those logos came back. It's just literally just sitting there like, yeah, I wish they did. I mean, some of them do look great. Some of them are very questionable. But hey, what are you gonna do?
Whale. Yep.
What are you gonna do?
Well, I guess that's the end of the second half.
I'm good.
All right. Give a quick plug to the 2216 podcast hosted by our buddy Dave. Him and his friends, they are They talk about their times being first responders in small towns and rural communities. If that's your thing, give them a check out. You can find them wherever you get your podcast. The other ship is the Pop Culture Podcast with a Pro Wrestling Lean. You can find them wherever you get your podcast. I'm still waiting on the ad from them to insert into halftime. They do have a new one for us. It's in our shared folder. If you want to give it a listen to. We've been using the same one since like 2020, so I figured for them I'd record a new one.
Yeah. Might as well.
But that will play during their episodes, and I'm like, well, if you guys give me one, it'll play during all of our episodes, and then that saves me of having to read an ad.
Make it sound like an infomercial.
And you can get one for 15% off. I don't know. I'm not quite with it yet, and I gotta go to Walmart after this to get groceries. Oof. It's a pickup order, so all I gotta do is just pop open the trunk and sit there and wait for them to deliver the goods.
Delivery. Never mind.
Look, here it's twofold. One, I don't like people that much, and I really don't like people in Walmart that much.
Yeah. Especially Walmart.
And two, if I go in there, I'm gonna end up buying shit I don't need.
That too.
But it's mainly the people. Like, look, we're wrapping up the show here. I don't care. Nothing makes me want to clothesline people more than two people standing in the middle of an aisle.
Yes.
Having a full-blown conversation. Look, me and you are guilty of that. We've done that. But we also have moved to aisles that no one goes to have our conversations at Walmart. Or we just walk with each other.
Or we just move. You know,
there's been many times I've ran into you at Walmart and we've ended up doing our shopping together so we can just keep talking.
Pretty much, yeah, we have.
I'll get home and Jamie's like, "What took you so long?" She says, "Let me guess. You ended up shopping with David." Yep, pretty much.
Could be worse.
It could be worse. But yeah, just clothesline people like I did to that kid from Cardinal Brennan.
Pretty much, yeah. That was funny. Exciting.
That's also one of those times where I'm partially glad I didn't play youth sports in the age of smartphones, but at the same time, I wish I did, because I know if someone was filming it, they'd have gotten you in the background jumping up like this. Because there's two things I associate with that. The kid doing a shoot flip after I hooked him with the clothesline. Like, he didn't jump, I just clobbered him. And then you in the background jumping up with your arms up yelling, "Yes!"
That was great. Oh, man,
that was one of the most rewound moments of one of our game tapes ever. That season, it was me clotheslining the kid from Cardinal Brennan, and I don't think he listens, but when Jake Stover tried to do a header and mistimed it, and the ball ricocheted off of the goal into his nuts.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna hurt.
Because I remember Shuey taking the remote from, oh shoot, who was it? It wasn't any of it. It wasn't one of us seniors. I want to say maybe Steve Good. He took the remote from Goody because Goody kept going back and rewinding it. And he's like, he played it in slow-mo. He's like, here's the moment of impact.
I mean, I would do that. I would kind of put it in slow motion and just see, look, this is how it feels. This is what it looks like.
And the best part of that story is as the trainer was coming up to check on him, and our trainer was an attractive young lady. Jake goes to her. He goes, "Can you rub it for me?" He didn't lose his sense. He's there in pain holding his junk. Did not lose his sense of humor at all.
Oh, that's great. That is great.
That is hands down one of my favorite moments from my senior year in soccer is just he didn't miss a beat.
At that point, no.
Oh man.
God.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, thank you for joining us for this 91st episode of the Non Other Sports Podcast. We're almost been doing this. Wow. What, 4 years, 5 years, 2020?
Yeah.
For everyone who stuck with us this long, why?
Thank you. And thank you. We're a train wreck.
Oh God.
We are just an obvious train wreck at this point.
All right. You know where to find us if you're listening to us. You've subscribed. You might have commented. You might have reviewed. If you do, we appreciate it. If you watch us on YouTube, we appreciate that as well. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts. Just thank you for checking us out. With that, I'm Jason.
I'm David.
We'll talk with you next time.
Good morning.
Oh, man.